In their first season in USL League One, North Carolina FC has had Richmond's number with 2 wins in the draw against the Kickers. If that wasn't enough motivation for the home team tonight at City Stadium, a win could potentially propel the men in red up to 3rd in the table within striking distance of the top 2 in a potential first round bye. Speaking of the standings, let's take a look at the insane League One table coming into tonight. 4 games this evening. We have 6 teams tied with 24 points. Richmond, one of them. Madison could have jumped into 3rd themselves with a win Wednesday versus NCFC, but they failed. Now, someone who hasn't failed by any means since coming into League One last season is Richmond striker Emiliano Terzaghi. The 28-year-old Argentine scored a wonderful goal here off both posts last weekend in the 2-0 win at Greenville to take the all-time goals lead in League One away from Ronaldo Damas, as well as tie Mario Lomas for the Golden Boot League with an even dozen. Now, Terzaghi can finish with either foot, has a tight turning circle you saw he can use to great effect against bigger, slower defenders. A goal tonight would also tie him for 2nd in Richmond Kickers history. He's our CBS 6 player to watch tonight for Richmond, and looking to limit Terzaghi this evening will be the North Carolina defense. They struggled a little bit coming into Wednesday's win over Madison, allowing 13 goals in their previous 4 games, but they really stepped up, held strong against the visitors in a 1-0 win, limiting Madison to only 3 shots on target. And this man right here, Jake McGuire, one of his big stops there, came out with that monster save midway through the first half. Point blank from Derek Gebhardt, some quick feet from him. So, we're just moments away here from kickoff in Richmond. Stick around, we'll be right back with lineups for both teams and the opening whistle from City Stadium on ESPN Plus and CBS 6. Kickers versus NCFC.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
For the animal shelter. Could I give Pixie a bath for $3?
Sure.
Wash your car for $5?
Deal.
How about I keep your money in my bank? Just $7 a month.
We already have free checking from Atlantic Union Bank. But wait, I have another idea. Come with me.
It's your money. Why pay a monthly fee or get hit with hidden charges?
How much?
You don't have that kind of money.
Whether you like it cool or hot or somewhere in between, James River Air will keep you exactly where you want to be. Call 1-800-COMFORT. James River Air, Richmond's #1 heating and cooling company.
We see them compete, striving for greatness, but there's always more to their story. An unforgettable touchdown, a story of survival, a grade school go-kart champion, and a record-breaking triathlete. Go beyond the roster with Lane Casadante, Thursdays at 11. Kristen Lures with your morning drive on CBS 6 this morning.
Problems don't occur when it's convenient. It's a good thing our repairs do. Call James River Air and get after-hours service with no after-hours charges. HVAC, plumbing, electrical. One call does it all. 1-800-COMFORT.
On ESPN Plus and CBS 6, Kickers. Welcome back to City Stadium to get ready for the Kickers against North Carolina FC. Before we get to our lineups, let's take a look back at the 2 wins North Carolina has over Richmond this season. Back on July 21st, it was all NCFC as they defeated the Kickers 4-0. 9 shots on target. They were outshot overall, though, by Richmond. Robert Christo scored his first 2 goals of the season, one here in the 19th minute. That header there, with the one from halfway. In the second meeting, Emiliano Terzaghi gave Richmond the early lead. This was the first meeting, excuse me. Gave Richmond the early lead, 2-1. Max Flick would tie things up later. JT Kamara will get the game winner in that one for NCFC. Let's take a look at, let's hear from Darren Sawatsky about the matchup with NCFC.
we haven't gotten the points out of those games. I think the guys know that. I don't think even the game that we ended up getting 4 goals scored on us, which was the anomaly game this year. If you look across the board, pretty much every game we've played has been a 1-goal game, plus or minus for us. And that game just didn't, it just didn't go right. Like everything that could happen went the way it shouldn't, and we certainly owe them something at home.
Here's a look at Richmond Kickers lineup for Darren Sawatsky this evening. Matt Baldock gets a start tonight on that right side. We haven't seen too much of him lately. Ethan Bryant, the youngster in on loan from San Antonio, also gets a start in the midfield. As for NCFC and John Bradford, Cole from Mischie's the only change. He got a lot of injuries. Pekka, Arriaga, Martina, Hamilton, all out. O'Farrell gets his second straight start, the teenager, at right back, and Martinez moving up into that defensive midfield spot. So we're nearly ready for kickoff here as both teams kneeling in the name of unity here at City Stadium. Referee Austin Saney in the green, Richmond in the red with white sleeves, North Carolina in the all-white, going from left to right. And we're underway here from City Stadium. Richmond Kickers hosting North Carolina FC. NCFC currently sitting in the basement of USL League One, but with the way results have gone above them, they're certainly within shouting distance of a potential playoff spot, especially if they can pull out 3 points here tonight against the team they've dominated so far this season. As we mentioned in the pregame, 2 wins for NCFC over Richmond in their meetings this season, as well as the 0-0 draw earlier. They've actually dominated the series overall. These 2 teams used to meet back in the USL Championship days. We'll talk a little bit about that later. They've also had some US Open Cup meetings. Richmond's only ever beaten NCFC once in their history. But Darren Sawatsky's team, 3 points for them tonight could bump them all the way up to 3rd place. NCFC again coming off that nice 1-0 win on Wednesday. John Bradford was very pleased with that result, especially as they had to start a bunch of youngsters, especially at the back. We mentioned the injuries. Parker O'Farrell, the 17-year-old, got Britton Fisher, another teenager, at the center back spot. Max Flick, the only real veteran back there at 27 years old. Flores only 21 himself. Actually just turned 22. 10 days or so ago. We'll have a throw in here on that right side from Parker O'Farrell. High school senior, class of 2022. There's another youngster, Cole Frame. Only 18 years old himself, North Carolina Academy product. Nelson Martinez, as you mentioned, had that great goal on Wednesday from distance. Moving up into that defensive midfield spot. He played there a little bit for Loudon last year, so familiar with the defensive spot. As Kira Fitzgerald has to come out of his box pretty quick to beat Loney Azeel Jackson, number 22. You'll see him getting his first start tonight. Came off the bench on Wednesday. Was very impressive in his 27 minutes on loan from Minnesota United, as Terzaghi is offside. Again, Terzaghi with 12 goals on the season, only 1 goal away, as you mentioned, from tying for the 2nd place all time in Richmond Kickers history. Darren Sawatsky during the week said Terzaghi is already in with their culture. He's already a Kickers legend, Kickers royalty, he said. Perfect character guy. He hasn't just scored goals, he's made everybody else better around him. As Stanley Alves, who's still looking for his first Kickers goal, gets off the deck. Max Flick, number 4. A couple of goals to his name already this season from the center back spot. Here's Nazmi Al-Badawi, the veteran. Some MLS experience. He missed a lot of time earlier this season with injury, but North Carolina had that great run when he came back, and a lot of the guys that were injured came back, but they're hurting again. John Bradford's men missing several key players. Both teams knocking it around here pretty confidently early. Good noise, as always, by the River City Red Army. As Azeel Jackson goes down, it'll just be a throw there. We'll see Jackson perhaps Let's take a look at our Draper Aiden blueprint of the match for Richmond. They played really well last week against Greenville at the back. They kept everything in front of them, spent most of the time playing deep, but waited for that chance to get that goal. Once they got one, they got two. And John Bradford said to us, for North Carolina, the key to them is really to stay focused for the entire, keep that concentration throughout the 90 minutes. They know Richmond will be motivated with the record against them this season, actually throughout their team's history. So got to be patient with the build-up, find the spaces, rein in Terzaghi, and really match Richmond's enthusiasm for this contest with revenge on their mind. So Stanley Alves playing more of a deeper role than Baldock. We thought we'd see that a little bit reversed, but nice work there by the Brazilian Ivan Magalhães to get out of a little bit of a mess at the back. Richmond lining up according to the lineup in a 4-3-3 tonight. May see them be pretty flexible with that and go with the two up front if they need to. Terzaghi either joined by, as you can see now, Baldock or perhaps Stanley Alves at times. Ethan Bryant just sitting in behind them. We asked Sawatsky about Ethan Bryant, the recent ad on loan. He said he's a great ad, fits the culture, he's good on the ball, he can really turn quickly, which is something they don't have, and turn the attack on its head. He can break the lines a little more than Victor Falk, who's out again tonight, along with Luke Pavone, as well as no Neil Vinyals. On the right here is Cole Frame. He can also play on the left. Him and Cohen very flexible in that regard. Here comes Bolaños, goal scorer last week against Greenville, on the run. Still on the run, Jonathan Bolaños, taking players on. A good tackle in the end, though, by Flick. Stop Bolaños in his track, something Greenville didn't do last weekend. Picking up that first goal early in the second half. Really broke that game wide open. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship, League One, and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. This ball is cleared downfield. Headed away there by Nelson Flores, usual left back for NCFC. Kickers do have a short week. They come back into action midweek against Forward Madison, playing their second straight Wednesday game, the men from Wisconsin. So perhaps that's why Darren Sawatsky making some rotational changes tonight. We do have Alex Anderson, always an offensive threat off the bench, as well as Hernan Gonzalez. He was out of the squad last week. As you can see there, Richmond 2-1-2 in their last 5 matches. They've got themselves back certainly into the playoff mix. They've been helped certainly by draws elsewhere. Looked like a late tackle there on Al Badawi. Goes down, but back up quickly is the veteran, 30-year-old local boy from Raleigh. Over 150 appearances for NCFC. Here's a new addition, Jackson. Looking to take on Magalhães, and does. Frame with the back heel, but snuffed out there by Alves. Good work back by the winger. So we're seeing a similar situation with Richmond as last week. Just kind of sitting back, letting North Carolina have the ball, and wait for set pieces and then some transition offense going the other way to pick their spots. That ball's going to roll all the way through to Akira Fitzgerald, the league leader in clean sheets with 6 and saves with 58. Certainly putting his name forward for goalkeeper of the year. He'll have some competition in that regard from Rashid Nuhu, though, I'm sure, and some others perhaps, as these last 10 games or so still here to go. Fitzgerald, 33 now, taking on the goalkeeping coach responsibilities this year. Obviously, this is a very close geographical matchup. Lovely work there by Jackson. Shot on goal, no, just wide. Past the far post of Akira Fitzgerald. There is John Bradford. We asked Bradford about Jackson. He said he's an explosive, good finisher. Can get behind, as we saw there. You'll cause headaches. Great on closing down as well on the defensive side. I think he's going to be a good complement to their group. Really helps with the loss of Luis Arriaga. They're attacking midfield. He can play right side as well. John Bradford going to give one last run here at a potential playoff spot. They've got some work to do in the standings, but the points are there. But tough games, though, to finish things off. There's really no easy games in League One this year, though. This one goes all the way back to Jake Maguire, who's certainly taken that #1 role now. Damien Lass, the youngster on loan from Fulham. Potentially going to be the #1, but he got injured early and is now back with Fulham. He's actually on loan at Harrow Borough in England. Now the season has started over there. Good passing football from both teams so far in this one. Neither team quite unable to unlock anything in the final third, though, in this first 10 minutes or so. Ross Davenport here with you from City Stadium in Richmond. As Terzaghi offside for the second time this evening. He disagrees with the call. Terzaghi only had 3 goals in his first 9 games. He has 9 now in his last 8 appearances, the Golden Boot winner from last year. Swansky says it's never easy when you move from it. I don't think Terzaghi had ever left Argentina when he came to Richmond. He settled in nicely with his family, comes to work early, leaves late. He's a perfect character guy. Of course, he's coming through on the goals side of things as well. He could do with some help, though. Alex Anderson with his 3 goals and Bolaños with his 3 are 9 goals behind Emiliano Terzaghi, but doesn't really matter. Teams know exactly what he's all about, but he's still managing to put the ball in the back of the net. Some spectacular acrobatic goals this year. A good half tackle by Magallanes, but here comes O'Farrell. Crushes the ball in off the head of Frame all the way through to Christo. And we will have our first corner of the match. Nazmi Al-Badawi. 9 caps for Palestine, where his family's from. Also had that 1 MLS appearance for FC Cincinnati. Captain of this NCFC side. He'll swing this one in, right-footed. In the 13th minute here. We're looking for the big figure of Robert Christo, number 11. That was off the head of Christo, but over the top of Akira Fitzgerald's goal. Christo with his 4 goals this season. Obviously had the one from the center circle, which everybody remembers. Also had 2 goals in that next game against Fort Lauderdale as well. Here's another look at that corner. Just a little less of it. Christo perhaps could have flicked it towards the back post. Speaking of flicks, there's Max Flick, who scored on a flicked header earlier this year, living up to his name. Matt Baldock on the ball now. Again, he only started 4 of the last 9 games, so make that 5 of the last 10 after starting the first 8. Matt Baldock had a goal and 2 assists this season, 2 assists in his last 5. He's the longest serving Richmond kicker. Only one remaining from the 2018 side now. There's Magallanes, team of the week. This past week, former Corinthians use, RGV, Tampa Bay Rowdies as well. He's in his 3rd season. One of the few long-serving kickers nowadays on this team, along with Baldock. This one's played deep. Nice touch there from Bolaños. Doesn't quite manage to keep it in. It'll be a throw in there. Get the all-new 2021 kits and check out the new product lines at shop.richmondkickers.com. Do like those cool gray jerseys that Richmond have. Of course, always the traditional red and white. You can never go wrong with those. We haven't seen a goal yet in these first almost 15 minutes, but at least one first half goal has been scored in Richmond's last 6 home matches, so we do expect to see one here. NCFC also sees some goals in the first half of their games, and only 7 matches straight for them with first half goals, so we should expect to see one. There's Esteban Calvo. Could perhaps be under some pressure for his right back job with Devante Dubose getting healthy. Not on the bench tonight, but Darren Sawatsky said he's getting healthy. Missed nearly a year now with a knee injury. His referee saying he's going to have a word with Nelson Martinez. Bit of a late challenge. You see a record there. Even up for Richmond, 6-6-6. Not the kind of number some people like. It'll certainly change tonight somewhere. So here comes NCFC. Down this left side. Good tackle there back by Bolaños, now appearing on this right side. Out to Bryant. He's got some space. The swing across in right foot, looking for Terzaghi, but Maguire's there with a key punch at the edge of his 6-yard box. Terzaghi, not known for his height. You saw Maguire, it was a lovely ball played in by Bryant. Maguire had to make a decision quickly, and he did. Got 2 hands to it. You see that Richmond with a solid home record this year, 4-1-4. Get a throw in here. JP Monticelli. A couple of goals himself from the left back spot this season. And lose a bit of momentum there as they give it away back, and Magalhaes gives it away. Christo now, one-on-one with Chrysler. Looks to take him on, instead finds Jackson on the right. Jackson with the shot low. Doesn't trouble Akira Fitzgerald too much, but good work there from NCFC, taking advantage of the giveaway by Ivan Magalhaes. Let's take another look at it here. Good first touch by Christo. Looked up, saw the streaking Jackson on his right. The ball was perhaps played a little wide. Forced Jackson to come around it a little bit, and that perhaps was the difference, providing more trouble for Akira Fitzgerald than they did in the end. Alves. It's going to be a foul there on Martinez, oh, excuse me, on Nelson Flores. Flores has started all but 2 games at left back this season. Played with NCFC back in 2017, 2018. Converted winger. Attacking mid, now playing at that left back spot. Spent his academy years with DC United. Here's Baldock. Back to Bolaños. Across the top to Bryant. The killer bees, as we called them before pre-game with my producer. Bryant, Baldock, and Bolaños. See if they can lead Richmond to perhaps 3rd place tonight. Obviously 3 games on the docket still to go. Magalhaes lands awkwardly there. There was no foul though. Christo's going to bring it towards the box. He's a big man. He can move though. He's got good feet. Magalhaes tracks back nicely though and forces a corner. He's perhaps looking for the foul after he put it out. Nothing called though, and it will be another corner for NCFC. 2nd of the evening. Let's mention another action around League One tonight. 8 o'clock, Tormenta hosting Fort Lauderdale. Union Omaha hosting North Texas. And then 10 o'clock, I'll be bringing you Tucson hosting Greenville. Here's Al-Badawi corner. Not the particularly best delivery. Is looking for a flick at the front post, but it will be a corner. Another one for the visitors. See if Al-Badawi's delivery is a little better this time. It's going to go right towards Fitzgerald. Again, he's not the tallest keeper in the world, but did well there Get two hands on it. Jackson in some space again on the right side. He's going to try and take it in. Takes it past Moran, but Fitzgerald comes out well and snuffs that attempt out. So Aziel Jackson brought in to make an impact. He's done that so far here tonight in his first start for John Bradford. Let's take another look at it here. Nice little 1-2. Yeah, Kira Fitzgerald did well. Moran actually did well to force Jackson to narrow the angle with the shot. That was enough for Akira to make another save to keep his League One lead, actually extend his League One lead. Nobody playing right now, obviously. You can watch the majority of this match before switching over. 8 p.m. Eastern, as we said, Tormenta, Lauderdale, and Union Omaha, North Texas. A couple of interesting ones. I mean, all them games, as Darren Skowatsky said, every game from here on out is a final with how tight these standings are. Zaka Moran, the Argentine. Lovely swung ball over there. Alves. He's got Baldock open in the middle, screaming for it. Alves is going to try and take it on his own. Flores is there, though. North Carolina will clear. Baldock. Bolaños was looking for Terzaghi. Cole Frame is going to come away with this one. No, Crosswell is Magallanes. We're going to come back perhaps for a foul before that. The referee was playing advantage. Cole Frame, I think, got clattered into after he put the ball downfield. Matt Boulder questioning if Max Flick had actually taken that free kick. He was, in fact, just moving it up to the original position. 20 minutes in here from City Stadium. No goals so far between the Kickers and North Carolina FC. See if Richmond can survive this one with all of their defenders. Magallanes got sent off, as well as Calvo in both the previous two meetings. Interestingly for Richmond, their last 9 matches have ended in a different result than the previous one. Is Al-Badawi now with some space? Out wide. Cone looking to get the cross in. Cuts it back, but Richmond will clear. The last time they had a back-to-back results, the same, was against Madison and Omaha back in mid-June. The only other time they repeated the result was back in the 2nd and 3rd game of the season when they lost to Greenville and Fort Lauderdale. The last time Richmond won back-to-back games was back in September of last year when they beat Fort Lauderdale 2-1 and Omaha 1-0. So Darren Swatsky looking for a much-needed back-to-back win. And obviously we'll be looking at results around the league later on tonight. This one will go all the way back to Maguire. August is USL Supporters Month, and we want to hear from you. Visit uslleague1.com/supporters-month for more information on how you can get involved and have a chance to be featured as the supporter of the week. Only a few days left in USL Supporters Month. And another corner here for NCFC, their 4th in just 22 minutes. Will be Nazmi Al-Badawi over to take him. And we talked to John Bradford when Al-Badawi came back to action, such a critical part of this team, providing that veteran leadership in the middle. Here we go with this 4th corner of the game for the visitors. Al-Badawi swings this one, far post, looking for Cristo. It's over his head, who's somehow been covered by Terzaghi. I think Magallanes was originally on him as Cristo fires that one into the bleachers. 2 shots on target so far for North Carolina, 3 off target. Good start for John Bradford's men. Stay up to date with team news, scores, and more on the Kickers mobile app. Download now on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. That's the Kickers app. Ball was cut out by Baldock. Chance for Richmond, well, perhaps to get some transition, but Baldock loses it. Now here comes Christo with the turn. Doesn't quite have the turning radius of Emiliano Terzaghi, but he's a big man to handle. Terzaghi's offside again. Just a little too anxious. Is the Argentine. It's the third offside, as I mentioned, for Terzaghi so far. We've seen teams defend Terzaghi differently. Some teams play this offside trap. Some teams just like to play a little deeper and keep things in front of them. Greenville tried to do that last week. Terzaghi produced that beautiful goal. On the turn, left Evan Lee in the dust and finished off both posts. Mentioned NCFC is 7-1-1 in the all-time series against Richmond. Obviously going back to their days as the Carolina Railhawks. Dates back to 2007. Includes the Open Cup where North Carolina is 3-0-0. Richmond's only win in this series. We'll perhaps see some highlights of that game later. We'll take you back to March 2018. As Alves goes down under a challenge from Roberto Cristo. He gets a word from Austin Saney, tonight's referee. Good crowd tonight in Richmond. It's hot out there. We may see a hydration break at some point. It's in the low 90s still. Even at 7 o'clock, very humid. That should happen around the 30th minute. We'll get a hydration break. This one finds Bolaños on the run. Will he keep it in? Yes, he will. Oh, another offside though, apparently. Well, they're saying it was out. Certainly didn't look out from this angle. It was offside. This assistant referee on this side's been busy. Right in front of the River City Red Army in Section O. Again, a win tonight could propel Richmond up to third in the table, depending on how results go elsewhere. There's a good look at the Red Army with their drums always banging. Taking a breather now, though. Well deserved. Here's Christo with his back to goal, just where Darren Sawatsky would like to see him. Scored that lovely looping header in that 4-0 win, and then obviously scored that goal that everybody remembers from the center circle, which somehow didn't win goal of the week. As Terzaghi goes down, he looks to be in some pain. Talked to Darren Sawatsky midweek about teams fouling Emiliano Terzaghi. This is going to be a yellow card. Referee Austin Saney putting pay to this early. That's going to be a yellow card for Max Flick. Darren Sawatsky will love to see that. He wants to see Emiliano Terzaghi perhaps protected a little better by the refs as one of the star players in this league. Getting some protection here earlier from Austin Saney. It was a foul, surely by Max Flick, but yeah, yellow perhaps deserved. It was a bit nasty knee. Just clumsy from Flick after losing possession. Flick, who came through the combine, played his college ball at NAIA Point Park. As this one's in the box, Terzaghi! There he is with that turn in space. Just couldn't hook his right foot around it enough to knock it past Maguire. And go out for a goal kick. Seems to be okay, Emiliano Terzaghi. Shrugged off that challenge from Flick. Let's take another look at it here. It was good work from Alves. Terzaghi got the other side of his marker. You can see his reaction. He knows he should have put that one on goal potentially. Goal number 13, just not quite going in for him just yet. Parker O'Farrell, dangerous ball. Just over the head of Terzaghi. And Parker O'Farrell making his second start. We got a player down. Referee's going to stop things here. Stanley Alves took a bit of a knock earlier and is now feeling it. Darren Sawatsky does have the option of a very capable Alex Anderson if he needs him on that right wing. It'll be a little early to see the man from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Only 4 starts for him so far this season. All All right, we're going to take our hydration break here as we approach the half-hour mark in City Stadium. Let's take a look at the last time Richmond beat North Carolina. This is back in the USL Championship in 2018. There's your USL Championship star. We're used to seeing the USL League One logo. Look at much improved pitch at City Stadium. I'll give them that. There's the first goal there by North Carolina. But Richmond will come back. Penalty kick from Mamura will make it 1-1. And then Gonzalez with the game winner, not Hernan Gonzalez. Richmond, that's the only victory in the history between these two sides. This goes back to the USL Championship days. That was back in March 2018. Good work by my producer Ryan Rose to pull that footage. 3 years ago, it doesn't seem that long ago, but in USL League One history, it was obviously before this league even existed. There's Darren Sawatsky chats with his team in this break. There you go. You can see 20 wins in those 20 goals, excuse me, in those 7 wins in the 9 previous meetings between these two teams. Obviously, two much different sides. Matt Baldock, the only one remaining from that match for Richmond. See all these players sweating through your jerseys on a very humid night. And we are going to see a substitution. And it's an interesting one. Nathan Orney, primarily a centre back, coming on for Alves. So we'll see what Darren Sawatsky does here. Does he perhaps go 3 at the back? With Orney, Chrysler and Magallanes perhaps pushing Monticelli and Calvo up to wing back spots. We'll see exactly. You see Ivan Magallanes kind of moving guys around. See exactly what kind of adjustments Darren Sawatsky makes as things emerge here. I don't see Nathan Orney back there just yet. Comes Zaka Moran. Now wide to Bolaños. Looking to take on O'Farrell, and does, but it's cleared away by Flick. Back to that 2018 matchup between NCFC and Richmond. Marios Lomas came off the bench for NCFC, and that one is Bolaños is offside. You see Lomas tied for the Golden Boot League now. Hope this AR's shoulder is okay. Been heavily used this evening in this first half. Lots of offsides for Richmond. With some good pressure on the back of Christo, and the turnover, and it's going to be, no, it's going to be onside this time. Here comes the cross, and looking for Terzaghi. Flicks there to clear, though. All the way to Jackson. He's going to try and test Nathan Orney here. He's always got him for speed. Here comes Jackson, 3-on-3 now. Christo and Frame to his right. Frame was offside. Christo wasn't looking, didn't know where the ball was. But got it back. Well, good work there by the big man from Bosnia. See Jackson and Frame trying to get on the same page. Obviously haven't played together much at all. Cole Frame with his 3rd straight start now. Only 5 starts this season. The youngster has really made an impression in the middle third of this season for John Bradford. Cross it in, looking for O'Farrell, pushing up from his right back spot. Bryant will come away with it, but he gets poked away there. Two of the East's best clash to kick off a fall to remember when the USL and ESPN continues. Perennial contenders Louisville City travel to Dillon Stadium to meet Hartford Athletic in a potential playoff preview September 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. There's a look at Nathan Orney. 24-year-old out of Washington knows Sawatsky from his time in Seattle. On his 5th sub-appearance of the season, played last year for Union Omaha, sporadically, only 3 games. Out of the 16 he started. Played his college ball at the University of Seattle. More of a traditional center back. Darren Sawatsky and John Bradford both hurting at the moment, so Orney's gonna have to fill in midfield. Yeah, it's going a little more direct now. Good ball to Bolaños, looking to take on O'Farrell. Gets a left foot across him, but good recovery from the 17-year-old UNC commit, Parker O'Farrell. That'll be a corner for Richmond. Be their first of the game. Ethan Bryant will take it. Bryant, the 19-year-old from Longview, Texas, on loan from San Antonio FC. He will swing it in, right-footed. Looking for our first goal of the game here. This one will almost come back out to Baldock. Now will come out to Bolaños, but excuse me, the other way around. Bolaños called for the foul. We'll have a free kick here for North Carolina on the edge of their box. Another look at that corner. Popped up in the air. And then the shove in the back by Bolaños. Experience the Kickers in a whole new way in 2021 with Kickers Plus. An all-new subscription plan to save 50% off match tickets, access to special events and exclusive digital content, 15% off merchandise and more. Subscribe now at richmondkickers.com/Kickers Plus. 37th minute here from City Stadium. No goals so far between Richmond and North Carolina. Best 2 chances have come from Azeel Jackson on that right side. Kerry Fitzgerald with 2 smart saves to keep this one scoreless. Magallay is under pressure from that man Jackson. Monticelli thought about going back to Fitzgerald, but Christo was in the vicinity. And guess who's offside? That man Terzaghi. Britton Fisher and Max Flick have done a good job so far tonight of limiting Terzaghi's options. Stepping up when they need to. As he had that 1/2 chance that he hooked just wide. O'Farrell is now out of position and see if Bolaños can take advantage of it, and he does, right where O'Farrell was. Here's Terzaghi. Max Flick now at right back, although O'Farrell's making his way back to his position. Does to close down when the ball from Terzaghi is too far ahead. And here comes Albadaya, but his touch is too heavy. And now Terzaghi looking for the 1-2 with Bolaños. Does eventually get back to Terzaghi. 16 yards out, deflected, right back to him. We got a man down. Play will continue though. Flick's got up. And a tame shot in the end from Terzaghi right into the arms of Jake McGuire. First shot on target though for the Kickers as Flick's down after blocking that attempt from Terzaghi. Let's take another look at it here. Ball just went to his left foot. It was poked away in the end. There's the shot in the end as O'Farrell got back in position. Look at Emiliano Terzaghi, 12 goals so far this season. Max Flick just getting back to his feet. He's going to feel that one. You can see him there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, walking a little gingerly. So, of course, Jake Maguire feeds in the ball. No rest here tonight in USL League One as we approach the 40-minute mark. From City Stadium, no goals so far. 5 shots for North Carolina, 3 for Richmond. 2 on target for NCFC, 1 for Richmond. Look at the crowd here at City Stadium. Filling in nicely as this first half's gone on. It's not the best ball back. Magalhaes saves it. Back to Fitzgerald. He hoofs it up towards halfway. And a win here for North Carolina. We put them within 3 points of FC Tucson. Although Tucson would have a game in hand, which they will have tonight against Greenville. Both of those teams in 11th and 12th, not out of it yet, especially after that loss Fort Lauderdale had last weekend to Tucson. 4-0 that was at Drive Pink Stadium. Flick across halfway. Being allowed some space by the kickers midfield. Wide here to O'Farrell. His first time ball for Frame was a good one. Frame's touch was a little heavy. Takes him out wide, but that forces Magalhaes out wide as well. O'Farrell, his cross is blocked by Orney. Cristo will keep this one in. It's knocked out of play by Esteban Calvo. Native of Costa Rica, played at FIU with Greenville's Andrew Booth. Flick's been a busy man tonight at center back. Leads his team with over 55 touches so far this evening. Him and Britton Fisher have combined for over 100. Cristo with a lovely turn onto his right foot. Great tackle though by Nathan Orney, showing off his defensive skills. Gives away this time to Al-Badawi. Look inside for Jackson, could have a chance to shoot, does! But it's right at Akira Fitzgerald. Let's take another look at this chance. Jackson had a good look at it, good strike, but that was never going to trouble the veteran Fitzgerald. Down on the left side is Josh Cohen. Four goals for Tucson last season. Coming back to where he played his academy ball here at North Carolina. As Esteban Calvo is the first Richmond kicker in the book this evening. Joins Max Flick of NCFC in the book of Austin Saney. Darren Sawatsky last week about the fact that Ian Antley and Devontae DeBose, who are going to be his starting fullbacks, have only played one game together this year due to injury. Ian Antley obviously out for the year. DeBose should be back in the next couple weeks. Perhaps providing a little more go forward from that right fullback spot. Just over a minute remaining in this first half from City Stadium. Richmond 0, North Carolina 0. First half that's couple of bright spark moments, but none in the second half of this first half. It's been relatively quiet in the final third for both teams. Zagi with a half chance. Zeal Jackson with a couple the other way for NCFC, but looks like we may head to the break here, all things tied up at 0-0. Moran's fouled inside the center circle. It's taken quickly by Chrysler. Lovely ball for Bolaños. Will he keep it in? Yes, he will. He's got Monticelli in support. Bolaños swings the ball in, cleared away. Here comes Cohen. Christo. He turns it over to Bryant. This is dangerous here. Bryant. Christo gets beaten. Bryant still with it. Lovely turn. He's going to take it. No, he's not going to shoot. That allows the NCFC defense to get back into position. They will clear, but only as far as Moran, who handballs it. So we'll see exactly how many minutes of injury time we have here at the end of the first half. Shouldn't be more than 1 or 2, you'd have to think. Obviously the injury to Stanley Alves. It's going to be 3. We did have the water break as well. That'll add a minute or 2. So 3 minutes of injury time here from City Stadium. Jake McGuire is a little too far ahead of where he's supposed to be. I'm not sure why that makes a huge difference, but Austin saying he wanted it taken from the correct spot. McGuire will send this one downfield. Looking for who else? Christo. Calvo doesn't think it's, well, Calvo didn't think it had been touched by himself. NCFC thought it perhaps was. It's going to be a throw-in deep inside Richmond territory now, which Nelson Flores will take. Looking for options. Having a hard time finding one. Tries to find Christo. The ball eventually falls at the feet of Al-Badawi. Terzaghi helping back on the break here. That ball was perhaps where he would usually find himself. Britton Fisher. Good first half for the 17-year-old. Senior at D.H. Connolly High School. Just over a minute remaining in this one. A relatively quiet half here from City Stadium. A jam-packed Noodles & Company halftime show coming up. Stick with us for that. See if the weather here in Richmond plays a part in the second half. Obviously Richmond have already used one of their subs. I have to think there will be some tired legs as this game goes on. Although I don't think the first half was particularly taxing to too many out there. Played at a pretty steady pace. Bolaños putting some pressure on Flick. He'll clear downfield. Flick by Christo is a beautiful one. On the left side is Frame now. Double team there. Like Calvo and Chrysler. Shot comes on, but it's wide from Josh Cohen. Didn't quite get the best of contact on that one. The demand from Indianapolis. So this should be the last kick, and we won't even get to take the kick. As Austin Saney blows his whistle for halftime here at City Stadium. No goals between Richmond and North Carolina. Again, stick with us for the Noodles & Company halftime report, and then we'll be back here in 15 minutes or so with your second half. Terzaghi had a half chance early but couldn't find the back of the net. No goals between the Kickers and North Carolina FC. We'll see you back here soon at halftime.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
I'm saving money for the animal shelter. Could I give Pixie a bath for $3?
Sure.
Wash your car for $5?
Deal.
How about I keep your money in my bank? Just $7 a month.
We already have free checking from Atlantic Union Bank. But wait, I have another idea. Come with me.
It's your money. Why pay a monthly fee or get hit with hidden charges?
How much?
You don't have that kind of money.
You can call James River Air, or you can schedule service online. Either way, we'll show up on time or it's free. James River Air, Richmond's #1 heating, cooling, and plumbing company.
If you thought only athletes were superstitious, then you haven't met the CBS 6 This Morning team. Like Rob here. He has to do everything 6 times before the newscast even begins.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Tom's all worried about stepping on cracks. And Reba, she has several good luck charms. It's getting out of hand. Oh, watch the ladder. Oh my goodness. Are you okay?
Make CBS 6 This Morning your superstition. Watch 4:30 to 7.
Trust, but verify. Let James River Air give you a free second opinion on any HVAC, plumbing, or electrical problem. It won't cost you a dime, and it could save you a bundle. Call 1-800-COMFORT and ask for your free second opinion.
Welcome back to halftime, brought to you by Noodles and Company. Ready to kick a dinner-winning goal? We're ready to put the assist with a big discount from your friends at Noodles and Company. To make the play, all you have to do is pull out your phone, download the Noodles and Company app, and get $4 off any order of $10 or more. Then enter code KICKERS21 and check out to keep your whole team happy. And once you're a rewards member, the savings will keep on coming. Download the Noodles app today and win dinner tonight. So it's week 21 in the 2021 USL League One season, so we thought it was a time to take a look at some of the historic milestones reached this season in USL League One. Emiliano Terzaghi with this goal last week against Greenville. What a beauty it was. Lovely turn off both posts, ping pong, and past Paul Christensen. That gave him 22 League One goals. Takes him past Ronaldo Damas, formerly of North Texas, now of Orange County, tearing it up in the USL Championship. Ironically, both Terzaghi and Damas had their goals on 93 shots. We also had the 600th, 700th, and 800th League One goal. This was the 600th, Curtis Thorne from Adrian Billhart, who's obviously on the injured list for now. Tormenta back against Tucson, all the way back in early May. That was our 600th goal. Our 700th came via Toronto's Garrett McLaughlin. He's got 8 goals this season. He's had some spectacular ones. This was one of his easier ones, but it had to be finished off. McLaughlin there with the 700th regular season goal in USL League One history. The assist there from Mehdi Asusi. That was against Fort Lauderdale back in mid-June. And then guess who would pop up with the 800th goal? We've already spoken about him tonight. Emiliano Terzaghi. There he is with a lovely finish at the front post against Tormenta back on July 24th. The assist there from Matt Baldock. That was the 800th goal with Emiliano Terzaghi, tearing it up this season with a dozen already. And this man right here, the Italian stallion, Marco Micheletto. He's got 9 goals this season and counting. That's the most by any Tormenta player in League One history. And he'll be looking to add to that total this season in the last 10 weeks or so. Great finish there against Greenville. He can also put them away from the penalty spot, Marco Micheletto. As we see here, one of the best penalty takers in the league. They'll take on Fort Lauderdale this evening. And Micheletto, as you said, we're looking to add to that total. We also had the 300th match in USL League One history. That was featuring the Richmond Kickers against Fort Lauderdale. First goal here by Curry in the 6th minute. This was back on Saturday, July 17th. Again, the 300th regular season match. And then Emiliano Terzaghi again. Lovely ball in by Alex Anderson into the danger area. And no better person than Emilio Terzaghi to get on the end of it. He puts them away from everywhere. And we have an unbeaten streak, a historic unbeaten streak. Chattanooga have beaten Lansing Ignite's record from 2019 now with 13 straight matches undefeated. Their 0-0 draw against Toronto yesterday gave them that 13th win. So a lot of milestones reached here in 2021, as we see there. We also had the largest comeback in USL League One history. As we look at Ricky Ruiz, that lovely goal last week to win that one. But the largest comeback, Tormenta, they've had an up and down season. They went down here 2-0 to Greenville. Aaron Walker with the save there, but then it would come back in. Greenville would take the early lead in this one, 1-0. This was back when Greenville were playing a little better, struggling as of late. They would make it 2-0 here. This one, courtesy of Aaron Walker, as he finishes strong with the left foot, and Greenville were looking good. But here comes Tormenta, the first goal. What a strike. We saw that earlier by Marco Micheletto. Then the free kick by Luca Maia-Faltian. And yes, Tormenta would make it the first team to come back from 2 goals down. They would win 3-2. Stefan Muller with the winner. A lot of milestones reached here in 2021. We hope you continue to join us as more are reached in these final 10 weeks of the League One season.
First-generation student here at Bellevue University. I feel like if I were to have gone to a different university, my experience would have been a lot more stressful and overwhelming, because I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that personal experience that Bellevue University has to offer.
City double their money, and how sweet the sound in Lynn Family Stadium.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
For the animal shelter. Could I give Pixie a bath for $3?
Sure.
Wash your car for $5?
Deal.
How about I keep your money in my bank? Just $7 a month.
We already have free checking from Atlantic Union Bank. But wait, I have another idea. Come with me.
It's your money. Why pay a monthly fee or get hit with hidden charges?
How much?
You don't have that kind of money.
Welcome back to the Noodles and Company halftime report here from Richmond. Only a few days left in Supporters Month. You can go to uslleague1.com/supporters-month with wing gear and be honored by the USL. We saw plenty of milestones already this season. We saw a little piece about that earlier in halftime. And Gio Calextra, well deserving of the player of the week with his hat trick. There's a look at the team of the week, highlighted by that man Calextra. Also see there Ivan Magalhaes, as well as Aaron Molloy. What a great strike he had last weekend for Madison. Here's a look at your goals leaders coming into tonight. The Dirty Dozen, 2 of them, Emiliano Terzaghi and Marius Lomas. We've also got 2 right behind them, tied at 9 goals, Micheletto and Greg Hurst, 16 goals won the league 2 years ago when we had the 28-game regular season. Here's a look at your assists leads. Ricky Ruiz and George Acosta both tied with 7 assists. Acosta will be looking to add to that total later tonight against Tormenta. Here's your goals against leader, Tim Trilk, creeping up on Rashid New. He's been our leader most of the season. Tim Trilk now under the magic number of 1 goals against average. Here's your scoreboard brought to you by Noodles and Company. We had the Chattanooga with that short-handed squad going up to Toronto, get a big point up there last night. North Carolina with the win on Wednesday, and then 2 road wins for Tucson and Richmond back last Sunday. And let's take a look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Noodles and Company. 3 games later tonight. Tormenta, Fort Lauderdale, Omaha, North Texas, a big one. 2 teams there battling for the playoff spots, and FC Tucson hosting Greenville. Greenville really need to win on the road. We've got 2 games for you on Wednesday, as well as a game on Friday in Greenville as well. We'll be right back here with you. Highlights and stats coming up next on the Noodles Company halftime report from City Stadium.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with a provider today.
Shelter. Could I give Pixie a bath for $3?
Sure.
Wash your car for $5?
Deal.
How about I keep your money in my bank? Just $7 a month.
We already have free checking from Atlantic Union Bank. But wait, I have another idea. Come with me.
It's your money. Why pay a monthly fee or get hit with hidden charges?
How much?
You don't have that kind of money.
Whether you like it cool or hot, or somewhere in between, James River Air will keep you exactly where you want to be. Call 1-800-COMFORT. James River Air, Richmond's #1 heating and cooling company.
Everybody has a story. Professional artist, nationally acclaimed guitarist, professional wrestler fighting cancer. From shy child to street performer, producing music in the pandemic. The king of Carytown. Meet the most interesting people in Central Virginia. I Have a Story with Greg McQuaid, Fridays at 11.
You can call James River Air, or you can schedule service online. Either way, we'll show up on time, or it's free. James River Air, Richmond's #1 heating, cooling, and plumbing company.
Welcome back to halftime here, presented by Noodles and Company. Let's take a look at our scoreless first half highlights between the Kickers and North Carolina. Some half chances for each side here. This first one coming via Zeal Jackson. He had a couple of half chances. This one was a low shot that forced a decent save out of Akira Fitzgerald. Jackson would feature again here with a lovely little 1-2. Forced wide by Moran. Fitzgerald came out to perhaps make the best save of the half there from almost point-blank range. In the 28th minute, Richmond will get their first real decent look. Tazagi with the hook here from 7 yards out, but just couldn't curl it around the inside post of Jake McGuire. Tazagi was held relatively in check in that first half. There are your halftime stats. 7 shots to 4 in favor of North Carolina. 65% possession in favor of the visitors. 6 offsides for the Kickers. And shout out to the Oak City supporters and the Red Army there as they're talking tactics. Elliot from the River City Red Army, thanks to Ebony Christmas for that picture. We the Dead Whales Society, which is a collective of supporters groups from North Carolina. They're coming to this game tonight in Richmond and then going up to Washington to check out the Spirit against the Courage tomorrow. So preps to them for the road trip. Always good to see fans getting away from home and seeing their teams play. First foul of the half comes 7 seconds in, courtesy of Jonathan Bolaños with the pullback. So, of course, we mentioned how many first half goals have been scored between these two teams this season, and they can't find one between them. In the first 45 minutes here from City Stadium, my name is Ross Davenport. Thanks for joining us tonight on ESPN Plus or NBC6. As Tazagi now gets through, but to McGuire was off his horse quickly, I should say, got out to intercept that one before it could reach the goal boot. leader, tied with Marius Lomas, obviously with 12. It was a poor giveaway by North Carolina that almost resulted in that chance for Terzaghi. Once again, Richmond in the red, going from left to right on your screen. North Carolina in all white, going from right to left. The only substitute in that first half was by Richmond. Stanley Alves got injured. He was replaced in an interesting replacement. Nathan Orney, as you see there in the middle of your screen, number 24, normally a center back. Now playing center midfield. Good chunk of offensive substitutions on the bench for John Bradford in the form of JT Kamar as well as Salmir Miscic. Both guys that can produce goals out of nowhere. That one's given away. Moran. Good job by Nelson Martinez to hassle the Argentine. Here comes Cristo. This ball goes all the way over to Josh Cohen. Looking to take on Calvo. Gets the right-footed cross in. Cristo's there, but flicked away nicely by Magalhaes, and now go out for a corner. Fifth corner of the game for North Carolina. Zabadawi's going to hear it from the River City Red Army. Here comes the corner, right-footed. Headed away by Terzaghi. Center forward helping back with defensive duties. This one will go all the way back to Jake McGuire. Cristo with the chest down. Britton Fisher looking for Josh Cohen, but couldn't find him. We'll restart again. We're going to have a free kick here for North Carolina. We'll see where referee's saying he wants it taken from. It's going to be right about 35 yards out. Al-Badawi with a chance to find Cristo. Britton Fisher also making his way forward. Al-Badawi swings this one in right into the arms of Akira Fitzgerald. He'll go quickly with the throw. Finds Bolaños streaking down that left. Jackson coming back to help. It's Bolaños' heavy touch results in the ball going all the way back to Jake McGuire, who just lobs it down towards Cole Frame and out for a throw. Moran chips it down the left side, headed away. Bolaños with a snapshot with his right foot, but it's blocked in front. Cleared away in the end by Flores. This one goes all the way back. Well, I thought it was going all the way back to McGuire. I'm sure he was talking to Max Flick, but didn't hear him. At the Richmond Kickers shop, you can get the all-new 2021 kits and check out the new product lines. Shop.richmondkickers.com. Here's Baldock. Right-footed shot blocked by Flores. Still in trouble here, though. Calvo. Right-footed cross was far too close to McGuire. He'll get things going the other way quickly. JP Botticelli with the leaping stop to stop Cristo from taking the quick throw. Cristo walking a little gingerly. And his size always going to be in a physical battle. There's John Bradford. I'm sure he'll take a point on the road, but his team's been well in this game. 67% of the possession. A couple of half chances in that first half. Here Fitzgerald came up big a couple of times on Azeel Jackson. Ethan Bryant is all over the back. I'm not sure what Darren Sawatsky's complaining about. Bryant pulled his jersey. As he was complaining about his team, apparently. Maybe. This ball's a little loose, but Flores back to claim it. Martinez. Good turn by him. Another foul on Bryant. Both teams are sort of cancelling each other out so far in this first 52 minutes of this game. Magallanes has to come all the way over to help his defensive partner, Krusler. He'll shepherd this one out for a goal kick. A couple of Richmond fans that joined the game from behind the goal. Of course, some fans enjoy sitting behind the goals rather than on the sides. Here's Baldock. Looking for somebody to make a run, but he's going to continue it himself. Flicked by Tazagi for Bryant. A half chance again. It popped up nicely for him, but he couldn't quite make good enough contact to put it on goal and trouble Jake Maguire. Good move there, though, by the kickers. The attack stats, North Carolina have spent 51% of their attacks going down the left side. Nice move here by Bolaños. He's going to have a go with his right foot, just wide of Jake Maguire's goal. We saw Bolaños score early in the second half against Greenville last week. Trying to get on the score sheet early here again. Here's a look at the earlier chance. Baldock fed it into Suzagi, flicked through off the chest of Bryant. It was a lovely bit of touch by him. And then here's a look at that last chance. Bolaños skipping by O'Farrell, unleashing the right-footed shot, but couldn't get the curve on it necessary to find the inside of that far post. It's going to be a foul there on Moran. As mentioned, 51% of North Carolina's attacks going down that left side, trying to focus on Calvo. Referee Austin Saney with the universal referee signal for no more of that. One yellow card for each team so far. Esteban Calvo for Richmond and Max Flick for North Carolina. A good block there by this North Carolina defense, looking for their second straight clean sheet. Clean sheets have been hard to come by this year for North Carolina. They had one against Richmond in that 0-0 draw, the third game of the season. So here comes Bolaños again, trying to take on O'Farrell. Does so, tried to cut it back for Tozagi. Flicks headed in there, and then Noni skies it over the goal. He also had a couple of 0-0 draws against Tormenta and Greenville back in July. And obviously the 4-0 win over the Kickers. And then the one on Wednesday night against Madison. There is Nathan on. He's a big physical presence. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157. North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Miola, Rodney Marsh, and USL All Access with Mike Watson, Devin Kerr. Every Tuesday night at 7 Eastern. You can also hear live action from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more. All on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. We're hearing that John Bradford is not going to wait any longer to make a change. See that coming in shortly. Bolaños is, once again, at the start of the second half, been a pest down this right side. Causing the youngster, O'Farrell, all kinds of trouble, but the youngster does well there. Frame will bring it away. Another heavy touch, though. We may have a substitution here. It will be JT Kamara, the loanee from Louisville City, entering the game. He will replace Aziel Jackson. Jackson featured heavily early in this one and then faded away in the second half of that first half. Bring on JT Kamara, a very dangerous attacking midfielder. Started 14 of the first 15 games for North Carolina, but hasn't been seen as much since. 3 goals and 5 assists on the season. Looking to prove a point here to John Bradford to perhaps get his starting job back. The go-ahead goal on the road if he can. So McGuire for Jackson. We'll perhaps see him slip inside, perhaps see Cole Frame really move to that right side. He's been all over the place as Cole Frame tonight. See Cole Frame setting up more on that right side now. Looks like JT Kamara may go up front a little bit, play alongside Cristo, at least right just behind him. See North Carolina pushing high here with their midfield line. We'll see if that catches them out. That'll be a throw in for North Carolina. 58 minutes gone here from City Stadium. Ross Davenport here with you. Thanks for joining us on ESPN Plus or CBS 6 locally in Richmond. Other games will get underway in about 15 minutes. Tormenta hosting Fort Lauderdale in Statesboro, as well as Union Omaha hosting North Texas. That should be an interesting tilt. Two teams with very different tactics on a small field. We'll see if Texas can find the space there to play their game. Tied 1-1 the last 2 times those two teams faced each other. Terzaghi gets a toe in it. North Carolina will clear. Up towards Frame. As you can see in the graphic there, 16 second half goals by the Kickers this season. Just one here, though. Only lost 1 of their last 5 games, have Richmond. That one came at the hands of Toronto up there in Canada. Garrett Swatsky's men went up there very short-handed, just like everybody has done, with the COVID restrictions north of the border. The previous loss before that was that 4-0 defeat to these North Carolina FC. Farrell hooks it forward. Kamara looking to turn a crunching tackle. John Bradford's incensed on the sideline. No call though. Here comes Terzaghi. Good tackle there by Flick. Terzaghi will look to go quick for Bolaños. Flick on his feet very quickly. He's had a good game tonight, has Max Flick. Poor touch there, though, by Al-Badawi, but does roll through to Frame. Al-Badawi tries the nutmeg on Orny, but doesn't pull it off. Here comes Orny. Big man on the run. He's looking for Baldock, but a good interception by Flores. Here comes the left back. Good tackle there by Calvo. Darren Sawatsky does here. A little short with no Neil Vinyals, no Victor Falcon, no Luc Pivot. There's a crunching tackle there by Nathan Audie. Referee saying he will have a word with him. Let's take another look at that tackle. It's a quick throw by O'Farrell. Yeah, just clumsy there from Orney. Also spent some time with Reno 1868 in the championship a couple of years ago. Martinez. Perhaps we'll get another Galazzo from him from the defensive midfield spot, as we did on Wednesday night. It was a beautiful finish on the volley by Martinez for his first goal of the season. In playing midfield tonight, pushing up from his normal right back spot. Stay up to date with team news, scores, and more on the Kickers mobile app. Download now on the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. That's the Kickers app. Baldock. See if he goes the 90 with Alex Anderson on the bench, perhaps. Oni, once again, with some room down the middle. Terzaghi. Terzaghi just over the top. Didn't look off the boot like it was going to threaten Maguire's goal, but he was backpedaling and had to make a leap at the last second just to make sure it wasn't going to dip under the crossbar. Here's another look at it. Terzaghi just turns into space. Jake Maguire was almost caught off his line. We saw Terzaghi make Joe Rice look a little silly recently on a goal from distance. Magallanes, he'll go all the way back. Jalen Chrysler, haven't mentioned his name much tonight. Good thing for Richmond Kickers fans. Stoppage of play. Behind the play. We've got a player down for North Carolina. Looks like it might be Parker O'Farrell. John Bradford does have Malik Mbaye on the bench, the Senegalese player. As a defensive option, perhaps Peter Pearson, he sometimes plays defensive. He plays more defensive midfield, as does Pekka. I don't think Pekka is particularly healthy. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. So Mbaye really the only defensive option for John Bradford, so hopefully he'll be keeping O'Farrell on the pitch. He looks to be okay. Actually, it was Britton Fisher. I take that back. Britton Fisher was on the ground. He's going to have to come off because play was stopped for the youngster. We won't have an official hydration break here, but NCFC, both teams getting their H2O down. So we approach 25 minutes remaining in this contest from Richmond, Virginia. No score here in this first USL League One contest of week 21. See, any point here would jump Richmond up the table, currently in that six-way tie for fourth with 24, or for fifth, excuse me, with 24 points. For now, this point would move Richmond into fourth. Tormenta a point behind them. North Texas, Greenville, all in action later. Could potentially overtake them as we restart play finally after that injury to Britton, who is now back on the field. Darren Sawatsky will retrieve this one from the kicker's bench. talking about potentially bringing in more reinforcements for Richmond. We saw Austin Bryant come in, but Ethan Bryant, excuse me, but Sawatsky said he's not the kind of team that can bring a ton of reinforcements in like some teams in League One have done in recent weeks. Here comes Martinez, streaking up the middle, finds Cristo on the edge of the box. Double team there though, gets the right footed shut off, deflected. Deflected enough that it stayed in play and grabbed there by Akira Fitzgerald. We have a player down for Richmond on the edge of the box. Looks like perhaps some cramp in the right leg. Looks like Ivan Magaia is down. See what happened here to him. Oh no, it was Zaka Moran with the cramp in the right calf. I thought it was a 4 in his shorts, but it was a 6. Zaka Moran down. Beautiful pink sky tonight in Richmond, Virginia. Right over the top of the River City Red Army. Zaka Moran down, it's a bit of a concern. Moved by Kuseli on the bench for Darren Sawatsky, can play that defensive midfield spot. He hasn't played much though this season. See if Moran, the 25-year-old former Argentine U17, played for River Plate. Really locked down that defensive midfield spot for Darren Sawatsky. He might be in some trouble here though. See if he can walk this one off or jog it off. Limping a little bit is the Argentine. One assist this year for Moran. He's only missed a couple of games. One was as a red card suspension. He also missed the trip up to Toronto due to travel restrictions. Started every other game. Played 90 minutes in every one except for that one he got sent off in. He was sent off with 2 minutes remaining in that game against North Texas back in July. As Austin Saney drops this one in front of Akira Fitzgerald. 3 saves tonight for the veteran goalkeeper. Moran is back on the pitch. Fitzgerald sends this one into the air. Good header there by Al Badawi. The United Soccer League, all 31 championships club and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Flores gives this one away. Terzaki now with a chance to perhaps run. But good work there by Britton Fisher. Still trying to jog off that recent injury. And we're going to see some substitutions here as manager's looking to shake things up in the 70th minute. It's going to be John Bradford. We're going to see Pekka, who's missed some time lately with a hamstring injury, as well as Malik Mbai. So not particularly offensive substitutions. Britton Fisher jogs off. He'll be replaced in a straight swap there at center back by Malik Mbai. Only 2 starts in his last 6 games after starting 10 of the first 11 for Mumbai. Pekka, another straight swap at defensive midfield for Martinez. So Pekka makes his first appearance in quite a while. The veteran Brazilian, 32 years old. So we get things restarted here from City Stadium. Pekka did play 26 minutes off the bench on Wednesday. His last start was back in early August. That 3-0 loss to the Revolution 2. Here's Bolduc. Trying to beat Flores to the byline. Can't. That'll be a corner kick for the Kickers. Be their second corner of the evening. Zaka Moran will stroll over to take it. Still probably trying to shake off that little bit of calf cramp. See if he can get a good fit on this one. 72nd minute here from City Stadium, no goals. Here's the corner from Moran. Not a great delivery, but it almost scooted through to Terzaghi with the acrobatic effort, but can't make contact. And here comes NCFC. Good work by Calvo, coming over from his right back spot. There's a chance here for Bolaños on the left. Excuse me, that Bolaños was in the middle. Nathan Orney, I think, on that left side. For the W, starting next spring, the USLW League, providing increased equity and opportunity for women looking to pursue careers in soccer, both on and off the pitch. Will be comprised of clubs from across the championship, League 1, League 2, and new expansion markets. The W League set to begin playing more than 30 communities across the United States. Head over to uslwleague.com to learn more. Christo. Al-Badawi looking for Kamara, but he was under pressure. It was a good dummy in the end. Frame back to Kamara. But Maggie Eyes is over there to intercept. Underway in Statesboro and Omaha. In the other two middle contests tonight, we have the late one in Tucson. I'll be bringing that one to you from 10 p.m. Eastern. Tucson hosting Greenville as Tucson trying to inch their way towards playoff contention. Framed with Terzaghi draped all over it, manages to clear it downfield. As Christo goes down, no free kick though. As Bryant go long to nobody. Experience the Kickers in a whole new way in 2021 with Kickers Plus, an all-new subscription plan to save 50% off match day tickets. We'll get more to that in a second. As the ball's into Terzaghi. Lovely tackle though by Flores. To poke it away before Terzaghi could unload. Here comes Kamara. Gonna have a foul here. Let's get back to Kickers Plus, an all-new subscription plan to save 50% off match day tickets, access to special events and exclusive digital content, 15% off merchandise and more. Subscribe now at richmondkickers.com/Kickers Plus. So we'll restart here with a free kick at halfway for NCFC. Here's Al-Badawi looking for options. He decides his best one is to go back to Mbai. Again, in the game for Britton Fisher. We'll keep you updated if there are any early goals in those two 8 p.m. starts, 8 p.m. Eastern starts, that is. Here's Mbai. Former Clemson player as well as Greenville FC. USL League 2. Calvo under pressure from Josh Cohen. Wasn't the best of balls, intended for Terzaghi, but ends up defeated by Flick. He turns that one over. Moran's fouled there by Kamara. I'm not sure Kamara's complaining about. As referee Austin saying he's going straight to the pocket. It'll be the yellow card for JT Kamara. His 4th of the season. The second one for NCFC tonight. Max Flick, the other owner of a yellow card. And there is Max Flick, who's not the best of balls. Yeah, it was good work by Zaka Moran. Get his body between Kamara and the ball and earn himself a free kick in a dangerous position here. Ethan Bryant will look to get this one into the danger area. Plenty of kickers on the edge of the box here. Here's the free kick. Bryant swings it in. Not the best of deliveries, though. Doesn't beat the first man. Bolaños. Back over to Bryant, who's got some space on this right side. He'll take a shot and a half volley. Just past the post of Jake McGuire. Good chance there for the youngster. Not the best of deliveries on the initial free kick, but he followed it up. Seems to sneak behind JT Kamara, and good chest down and a decent shot by over to cover. Excuse me, Pekka over to cover. May have done enough just to put Ethan Bryant off. No shots on target for either team in the second half so far. Still 14 minutes to rectify that, plus injury time. It's Kamara. Finds frame. Good turn by the youngster, and he's fouled there by JP Monticelli. And now it'll be NCFC's turn to have a dangerous free kick. This time on their right side. Richmond's last one was from their left side. So we'll see Max Flick come forward here. Christo, I'm sure, will head into the box. Just taking a breather now. By the ball is the big man. 6'4", listed. Robert Christo. 4 goals this season. Maybe he's gonna thinking about having a crack from here. Al Badawi also there, as well as Josh Cohen. Christo was thinking about drifting into the box, but now back behind the ball again. Well, Christo's teeing this one up. Well, no, now he's giving it to Cohen. Got a little trick play here. As Al Badawi chips it in. Looking for Christo's over his head and over everybody's head out for a goal kick. It's an interesting idea. The 2 runners just sprinting into the box, playing it ahead of them. We're going to have a substitution for the kickers as Zaka Moran, who was dealing with that calf issue just a few minutes ago. He'll make way for Cameron Vickers. His one start this season came against this NCFC team. Far left side here, Bolaños does manage to keep it in. Good work again from Parker O'Farrell. The youngsters had a good game tonight at that right back spot. Bolaños has given him trouble on occasion, but no damage done so far. Here's Vickers in an advanced role. Perhaps we'll see Orny drop back to the Moran spot, allowing Vickers to push a little further forward. We're going to have another substitution for Richmond. And it will be the late introduction of the pacey man from the St. Vincent and Grenadines, Olex Anderson. As Bolaños makes way for him on that left side. As Vickers earns a corner for the kickers. Will we find some late magic here from Darren Sawatsky's men? As they seek consecutive wins for the first time this season. Gonna have some whistles. So I guess the ban Calvo perhaps with the corner now that Moran, the normal corner kicker, has made way. See if Calvo can deliver something special here. So we enter the 81st minute. Here's the corner from Calvo towards the back post. Plenty of kickers there, knocked back. Orny's touch is too heavy though. He'll roll out of the box. Brian will keep it in though. Fallen at anybody's feet other than Nathan Orny, anybody in that front 6. You didn't think there would have been a scoring chance, but Orny just couldn't control it. Chrysler flicks this one on. come right back to him. Alex Anderson, you know he's going to test O'Farrell here. Alex Anderson looking for the left-footed cross, but once again O'Farrell with good work. Anderson spent some time with the Seattle Sounders in MLS. Christo in some space now. Showing some fresh legs, the big man. Out to Josh Cohen. And we've got a stoppage in play. Not sure why the referee would stop play in that position. Especially when it was an NCFC player down. Oh no, it was a Richmond player down. Perhaps a head injury. Alex Anderson has only been on the pitch for a few seconds as he's down, and attention being paid to his head neck area. That's the reason for the stoppage. So as frustrating as it was for NCFC, the right call by Austin Saney. Anderson back on his feet, looking a little woozy. Shake off. Contact to his head. Not to go off for a second or two. Appears to be okay. Three goals, 2 assists on the season for Alex Anderson. Scored a goal in the opener, also in that loss to Chattanooga, as well as a goal against Tormenta. So we'll restart here. I have to think for a drop ball in favor of NCFC. We'll see what referee Saney decides to do. So this will certainly add some time onto the end of the 90 minutes here from Richmond. Will we see a late goal from either side? Certainly mean a ton in very different ways. So it will be dropped at the feet of Josh Cohn here, a couple of yards inside that left touch line. Al-Badawi. Pekka. Flores looking for options forward, but goes back to the Brazilian. Carolina will reset. Don't forget to join us later on. Tucson hosting Greenville. Those are two teams that could certainly use 3 points for very different reasons. Tucson looking to get back in that playoff race. Greenville looking for their first win since July 4th. It's Cohen. Had 4 goals for FC Tucson last year. Swaski, careful, Darren. And then he pulled muscles from the coach. Free kick here for North Carolina. 6 minutes remaining in this one from Richmond, Virginia. No goals between the kickers and North Carolina FC. Richmond with just the 1 shot on target tonight. Do you have 12 shots to North Carolina's 8 though. It's been another good defensive effort by the visitors, looking for their 2nd straight clean sheet. This one comes off Christo's head and all the way through back to Fitzgerald. I'm sure all those teams tied for those 24 points would love this one to finish 0-0. 3 points for North Carolina would almost bring them right back into the race. Everything's been so tight in this 2021 USL League One season. Here's Anderson. Got Tuzagi in the middle as well as Baldock. Good work back by Pekka. Some fresh legs from the veteran to snuff out that attack by the home team. Here's Cole Frame now on the left. Show his young legs still have plenty of action to give in this final 5 minutes here from Richmond. No goals elsewhere in the 8 p.m. games as they approach the 15-minute mark. NCFC, not the best of balls there, cut out by Magalhães. Bryant looking to go long to Bulldog. Good work across by Flores. And he'll head this one out. Will it stay in? It will stay in with Bulldog. Looking for support. Think about having to go with his left foot, but have to go back to his right foot there. Gets the cross in, but hits the side netting. It'll go out for a goal kick. North Carolina with the expected edge in possession, 62.8%. Sawatzky's team, Richmond, don't love to have the ball, but I'm sure he'd like to see a little more than the 37.2% possession so far for his team. Richmond's next home match, as you see there, coming up against Forward Madison this Wednesday, so a short week for Darren Sawatzky. Perhaps we'll see some of the missing guys tonight featuring that one, especially Neil Vignals. Become a fixture on that left side of the Kickers midfield until tonight. Perhaps just getting a rest ahead of that game on Wednesday. Cole Frame is fouled, holding his hip. Nazmi Al-Badawi will take this one. 35 yards out. See Robert Christo imploring his team to get forward. Don't want to give one up on the break though, so they've got to be careful. Richmond are a good team on the transition. Al-Badawi with the free kick. Lifts it in. Look at the header. Christo gets the flick, but doesn't get enough on it. Goes right at Kira Fitzgerald. Makes his 4th save of the evening. The first shot on target for either team in this second 45. It took us nearly the whole 45 to get there. Vickers. Calva surveying his options. Launches it forward. Vickers is on the end of this one. Fresh legs. Will he take on Flores? Yes, he will. Gets the right-footed cross in. Met at the front post by Flick. And away for a corner. We're into the final 90 seconds of regulation. 4th corner of the game for the Kickers. Vickers will take it. Here's the corner. It's a decent delivery. Maguire gets a fist on it, and there's going to be a foul as Max Flick is on the ground inside the 6-yard box, not by his own volition. Mentioned back here against Madison on Wednesday as Madison make their 2nd Wednesday trip in a row to the East Coast here. So there's Darren Sawatzky. We won't be thinking about that game just yet, but as soon as that whistle blows, he will be. Actually, the next 2 games for Richmond against Madison, they head up there 11 days or so after that, on the 11th. We'll then take on Revolution 2 for home matches against Toronto and Chattanooga. They also have North Texas and Omaha as well to play this season. So not an easy run in for Richmond. For North Carolina, they will take on Omaha at home next week. Is this ball's kept in by JT Kamara? No, it's not. It's going to be a goal kick. There will be 5 minutes of injury time at the end of this one. Perhaps one of these teams to find a goal and take home 3 points. It's going to be a tough run coming up for North Carolina. Home against Omaha, home against New England too, at Chattanooga, home against North Texas, and then that trip that nobody wants to take right now to Toronto. early October. They also still have to play Chattanooga and Omaha again. So 2 games each against Omaha and the Red Wolves left for North Carolina. By far from an easy run-in for John Bradford's men as that one goes out for a Richmond throw. Anderson, double team there by Al-Badawi and O'Farrell. Nathan Orney will come over to this side. Use his long arms to propel this one into the box. So into the 2nd minute of injury time here from City Stadium. No goals between Richmond and North Carolina. Here comes the throw from Orney. Looking for Monticelli, cleared away. Off the foot of Orney though. Not go for a throw for North Carolina. Josh Cohen not in a particular hurry to take it. Point on the road would not be the worst thing in the world for the visitors, but with where they are in the standings, they could really use 3 points. Kamara looking to the seam for Cole Frame. Good work back by Chrysler. Fitzgerald first times it out. Buys there, he'll clear. 3 minutes remaining. Calvo nods this one back to Fitzgerald. It's been a tight defensive contest. Just the one shot on goal in the 2nd half. Courtesy of the kickers. Here's Frame. Max Flick, if he'd stayed on his feet, it's going to be a foul. If he'd have stayed on his feet, would have been a great run for the center back. It's going to be a yellow card for Jalen Chrysler. His 7th of the season. Let's take a look at that marauding run up the middle by Max Flick. We are going to have a late substitution for John Bradford. Salmir Miscic, the 18-year-old. 3 goals in his first 5 games this season, but hasn't scored since June 5th. Now would be the time to end that drought. Al-Badawi. Just making sure he has some defensive help back in case Richmond come on the break. Al-Badawi chips it in, looking for the head of Christo! What a save, and the rebound is wide! Kira Fitzgerald comes up big when he has to. A lovely delivery by Al-Badawi. See Christo, what can I do? Did exactly what was planned. Here's another look at it. Flicked on by Christo, and Fitzgerald was going to his right and had to adjust his footing. A lovely one-handed save by the veteran to keep this game scoreless. First shot and goal of the 2nd half for North Carolina, and it almost ended up at the back of the net. Here's Terzaghi. He falls over at the feet of Flick and then handballs it. So it will be a free kick here as we enter the final minute of injury time. You can see the frustration on the face and the reaction of Emiliano Terzaghi. He's been reined in so far tonight by North Carolina. They've only got 45 seconds left to finish it off. Bryant with the header. Alex Anderson's in tons of space on the left. Terzaghi just couldn't get the ball to him. 10 seconds remaining here. We've got 2 balls. We do have one in play though. Anderson looking to turn. Can't find any space. And that will be a free kick as Pekka goes down. That should do it here from City Stadium. See if Austin Saney allows the free kick to be taken. Somebody can tell Pekka that time is up. Kira Fitzgerald with a key late save to keep this one tied at 0. As he continues to put his name forward for goalkeeper of the year. Of course, Dallas Jade won it the first 2 years in the USL League One, unlikely to win it this year. Terzaghi asking when this free kick's going to be taken by Jake Maguire. Nearly a minute over the 5 minutes now. Maybe we'll have some added time though. So Monticelli heads this one out. Will there be one last chance for the visitors? These two teams tied 0-0 early this season. Looks like we're heading to a repeat of that result. Still time for something to happen though. Christo comes off his right foot and out of play, and that will do it. As Austin Saini blows his whistle for the final time this evening from City Stadium. A tight 0-0 draw between the Richmond Kickers and North Carolina FC. Let's take a look at your implausible pups. Save of the match, and it could only be this late one from Akira Fitzgerald. He's going right, had to come back to his left, stuck out a strong left hand to knock it away after the solid header by Robert Christo. And your player of the match presented by Kiter is Akira Fitzgerald. Made a couple of big saves in the first half. The biggest one, saved the biggest one for last, as he denied the header from Robert Christo and the potential 3 points for the visitors. The River City Red Army goes home a little disappointed, but they'll take the point. And we'll go to break here. Your final score from Richmond: Kickers 0, North Carolina 0 from City Stadium. We'll be right back with full-time highlights.
Health. Suddenly that word seems more important these days, as it's consumed all aspects of our lives and made our universes feel smaller than ever. But at Bon Secours, your health has always been our top priority, and we're staying as committed as always to personalizing the right care for you. Because whether here or from home, we believe your health care should always revolve around you. Bon Secours, primary care for the universe of you. Visit bonsecours.com/primary care to connect with the provider today.
I'm saving money for the animal shelter. Could I give Pixie a bath for $3?
Sure.
Wash your car for $5?
Deal.
How about I keep your money in my bank? Just $7 a month.
We already have free checking from Atlantic Union Bank. But wait, I have another idea. Come with me.
It's your money. Why pay a monthly fee or get hit with hidden charges?
How much?
You don't have that kind of money.
If you thought only athletes were superstitious, then you haven't met the CBS 6 This Morning team. Like Rob here. He has to do everything 6 times before the newscast even begins.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Tom's all worried about stepping on cracks. And Reba, she has several good luck charms. It's getting out of hand. Oh, watch the ladder. Oh my goodness. Are you okay?
Make CBS 6 This Morning your superstition. Watch 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to City Stadium here in Richmond, Virginia for the BetterMed post-game show. Your final score there: Kickers 0, North Carolina 0. Let's take a look at your defensive play of the match. And it would be Zaka Moran. He would injure himself on this play, but it was a key play. It brings extra security, defensive play of the match. So sliding stop there. That's a late stop to deny a goal-scoring opportunity for North Carolina. Let's go to our highlights presented by BetterMed. North Carolina had the better of the early chances, but it was in the second half that Richmond started to come into this one a little bit. Matt Baldock here with a lovely flick through. Bryant with the volley from 17 yards out, but couldn't make good enough contact to knock it past Jake Maguire. Quiet night for Emiliano Terzaghi. Almost got the assist there with a nice little flick, but wasn't to be. In the 63rd, it'll be Richmond again. Nathan Orney on as a sub early in this one. Terzaghi would have the long shot from distance that almost caught Jake Maguire napping. Instead landed on the roof of the net. This one remained scoreless at that point. Things would get a little interesting late Here's a free kick from Bryant. The first attempt was blocked, but it came back out to the youngster on loan from San Antonio. His shot on the half volley just hit the side netting. It did force a dive at least from Jake McGuire. Just didn't quite catch the right side of the ball. And in injury time, this was North Carolina's best chance of the match. Floated in by Albert Dawi. Christo with the header on target and a lovely left-handed save by Akira Fitzgerald, the league leader in saves, as he adds to that total here with that one to preserve the point for the home team. The rebound from Max Flick was into the side netting. As you can see there, even in shots, almost 12 for Richmond, 11 for North Carolina, who dominated the possession side of things, but just couldn't turn that possession into 3 points, and they'll go home to North Carolina with the one. So what does that do to the table? Well, it moves North Carolina within 3 points of Tucson, who will play this evening. They'll be cheering for Greenville, will North Carolina. Meanwhile, the Kickers up to 4th for now, obviously with Tormenta behind them, although they're losing to Fort Lauderdale at home right now, so they'll be hoping that result sticks. So stick around for those matches at 8 o'clock on ESPN Plus right now. Tormenta hosting Fort Lauderdale, as well as Union Omaha hosting North Texas. Well, here in Richmond, it would finish 0-0 between the Kickers and North Carolina FC. On behalf of my team behind me, I'm Ross Davenport. Thanks for joining us this evening on ESPN Plus or CBS 6. We'll see you next time when USL League One action here returns. Have a good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.